each of you maybe introduces yourself quickly, like in 2 sentences, what you do at, and then we start with you, Thomas. There should be a microphone also.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm Thomas Zeitler. I'm from Germany, Regensburg. In Aumovio, I do infrastructure software, so all the basic software stuff for the whole company.
有没有翻译的 ？Sorry. Can you translate this question? 大家好啊，我是这个小鹏汽车啊，我负责整个汽车技术中心啊，我叫于鹏，谢谢。
大家好，我叫刘嘉熙啊，来自小米汽车负责小米的系统软件开发啊，谢谢。
Hi everybody, I'm from Diana Mao from New South Ridge. I'm responsible for our New South business operation globally. Thank you.
Hi, Ralf Schneider, Mercedes-Benz, responsible for this Mercedes-Benz operating system, the software base layer. I call it always for the interesting parts, for the HPC part.
Hello everyone, my name is Bo Xueli and from the Beijing Jingwei Hiren Technology, and I'm responsible for the embedded software development and also the overseas business. Thank you.
Excellent. Okay, so let's start with the questions. So as I started at the beginning this morning, we said AIDV is coming, and that will be the main purpose of this panel. And we have been talking about SDV the whole time, and now AIDV. So really the first question I have is, what fundamentally changes when vehicles become AI defined instead of just software defined? So maybe who wants to start?
Okay, maybe from me. Okay, I think we have been talking about SDV for many years, and for these years we are starting talking about the AIDV instead of the SDV. But in my opinion, I think the SDV and the AIDV are all the method to produce a better vehicle, but they are not the final purpose of the final goal. I think the final goal of our industry is to produce some better vehicle for our customer with a better development cost. So maybe we can call it not SDV or AIDV. Maybe you can call the goal CDV, the customer defined vehicle or cost defined vehicle. That's the goal. But AIDV is really a new method to define our vehicle and define our new development process. Is really a magic, I think, because in these years in my company, we have already researched many different ways using the AI in our development flow, in our software development, in our requirement and testing. And it's really helpful for us. I think in the future, it will be also very useful for our customer. So that's my opinion about the AIDV. Yeah.
I agree with your statement on customer defined. I also use it quite often.
Yes, thank you.
Maybe then to one of the OEMs, maybe Xiaomi, you want to add something on what is changing with AIDV?
Okay. I think in Xiaomi we are very focused on the user experience. I think for the software-defined vehicle, we use software to improve the user experience a lot in the last few years. But in the software-defined vehicle, the software logic is still deterministic. And in the AIDV era, I think the behavior of the vehicle maybe have more input and according to different circumstances, the behavior will be different and more according to the user need, and it will more understand the user's need or the user's their expectation. But I think this is still need to see, because in this case, how to validate the safety or the behavior of the vehicle is an open question. I think, but I'm very expect to see what the AI can really put into the real product and to excite the user. Yeah.
Okay. And then maybe to Xiaopeng.
谢谢主持人。哎呀，我只能说中文啊，sorry。对，我觉得这个 SDV 也好，AIDV 也好，它实际上都是两种技术路径啊。但是从最近几年的这个汽车发展的这个整个趋势来看啊，我觉得我们目前应该说是这个已经从原来的一个叫这个技术驱动的这样的一种开发的方式，我们已经进发到了一个叫这个客户驱动的一种开发方式。所以原先我们在技术驱动，我们会发现，其实 STV 它更多的是关注于我们在整个软件功能上的配置啊，一些功能。那么在这块的话，其实更多的还是基于很多的一些规则去定义相关的东西。它对于整个的体验类型，实际上我们这个要求的其实并不是那么的高。但是眼下，实际上在整个全球范围之内，汽车整个行业的这个竞争是非常的激烈，也不断在加剧。所以在这个维度上，我们都在每家车厂其实都在这个尽力的去提升整个以汽车作为这个产品类型的一个整体的竞争力。所以我们会更多的是希望这个我们的用户啊能够去接受、更喜欢我们的车。所以在这个维度上，我们更好的去要满足啊整个市场对于车型相关的一些需求啊、一些要求、一些痛点。所以我觉得基于 AI 的一个方式啊，核心的逻辑其实更重要的是在于说，它能够把整个的技术的上限，我觉得是能够得到一个非常大幅的提升啊，以及在这样的一个技术手段之下，我们更能够去做好整体在多维度跨领域的技术的协同上面，能够用在这种复杂情况下用 AI 的方式去做到更好的协同啊，以及整个在效率上也能得到更好的提升啊，以及满足更好的这种整个客户需求的体验感啊。对，这个是我的理解，谢谢。
Maybe then also to Mercedes the question. The question to also Mercedes. Yeah, I forgot my microphone.
Yeah, at Mercedes as a legacy OEM, we started with hardware-defined vehicle. Now we almost at software-defined vehicle. What means software-defined vehicle for us? Coming from a horizontal architecture where you have distributed systems and almost every ECU project have the same rights, the same feature set, coming to a hierarchical vertical architecture. That means for us SDV and really define this architecture from a system software perspective. Yeah, this is the first thing. And how we AIDV, at least the goal for us is to bringing the right data at the right places that we can use AI to accelerate our whole development and reduce, also improve the quality of the whole vehicle in the end.
Okay, maybe then also the supplier perspective on Movio. So Thomas.
So I just thought how to answer there. Let me compare it with what we see on the mobile phones. There also AI takes in, and we use our mobile phones if we pay, if we go into metros, wherever. And I expect something similar to come for the automotive industry. That means we have sensors there on the mobile phone, which are common, which are used to outside, and we will have a similar setup with the vehicles. We only have the difference. That means we have some safety applications, but we can handle this much better if we have standardized the really lower layer of sensors in the same way as then what is on top of it. I think it will converge how the things are set up like in the mobile market. And car and mobile will come closer together from my perspective. And the car will get more to let's call it, to a user interface for AI.
Okay, maybe then I was thinking also to Neusoft, and also I want to give a little bit on top question to you because you have also good overview of China. I heard it now from the two Chinese OEMs, actually, or pretty much all of them, said also customer defined. Is this maybe the wrong term we are using, AI defined? Should we use customer defined instead?
Well, you can find this everyone actually each OEM and each from different perspective have their own definition of that. But the trend is you heard about the doubao. So in China, this China New Year's, everybody get their doubao, and the doubao just announced like 2 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago I think the doubao car. So you officially say an AI car now. So so AI LLM companies have the cars coming. So, but I didn't think they are going to define this AI car, AI DV. It's just each company coming from different perspective. Like I think Mr. Zetter saying about the phone, the smartphone situation, the car situation, because now the Chinese car owner are really thinking the car is a space, is a smart space, and the car is also a companion. So we used to have let's go to BM Mercedes and then getting the cars, and they're coming with a list of the good function and list. Then in the future, you can expecting Mercedes hand the car to you. Hey, Jiaxi, hey, this is your car, your own car, the car who knows you, who knows all the habits about you, and know you how you want to drive, how you need a like going through, you like to go to Suzhou, go to Nanjing, and make sure you have your ETS card in there. So they actually knows pretty well, and they also that when you're driving, and the car actually be able to making decision together with you according to your habits. So this is what our observation, because us software company is basically thinking about how we be handling meeting how the development of for OEM tier ones and what they're expecting for their niche specialities for coming with own strengths, and how we can make that happen, how to make it happen safely. So this is what we think. That's why we will looking at a different perspective. But as how we coming from IoT background, software company perspective, we definitely see that kind of coming, because the AI agent is looking to weigh how we can enable all the function, middlewares, and operation systems coming into place.
So maybe in one way to summarize, also it's customer defined, enabled with AI. Maybe that's a better term.
Yes, it's all the keywords in there. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Actually, I used customer defined in my publications last year, and it didn't stick, and it became AI defined in Europe, but obviously in China it went to the customer defined. Cool. Yeah, so obviously some are struggling more than others, or are more successful than others, and I mean, outside of China, everybody now talks about China's speed, so therefore the question is more to the Chinese people here in the audience, in the panel, is what is really for you scaling it? So what is why you feel that you're so much faster at the moment? Maybe let's do Xiaomi.
How fast the faster in China?
Yeah.
I think maybe have several reasons. First, we really have a very good and competitive supply chain. I think it's a very important factor. And another is that for us as an OEM, we have a lot in-house development for the critical components, and we also cooperate with the other partners deeply in some critical components. So we eliminate a lot of time of negotiation. Yeah. And another factor I think is that we have a very good infrastructure from the true train or the cloud or the data, and maybe also AI, and this enable us to be faster. Yeah. Of course, the hard work is also a factor, but I think these three, the former three factor is very important to enable us. Yeah.
Okay. And then maybe to a supplier, Hiring, you're also a supplier in the Chinese ecosystem. There's another bike if we need another one in between. Thomas, you want to hand it
Okay,
over?
let's talk about the speed, how fast we can produce a car. In China, many we think for this years we are producing faster. That means shorter production cycle period. And as a tier 1 or tier 2, we are really behind the stage because the OEM is more front, directly facing to the market, directly facing to the customers. I think the customer requires many different cars and many different or new features for the car. That's the pressure from the market, and this push the customer push the OEMs. OEMs push the tier 1, tier 2, and this is a pressure chain. I think that's the first reason we all feel some pressure in these years. But pressure is not only the reason. The real reason, I think, when we are facing the pressure, how we can get a better quality, get a short development cycle, and also the cost down. Okay, this maybe sounds like an impossible triangle, but how to solve this? We think in China this years, at least this years, I've already seen many of the innovations, many different ideas, including AI. AI is in these years running very fast. There are also other innovations happen in China, and this innovation help us to speed up to a better quality, to a better cost down. I think this is another important reason. Yeah, the
Okay.
pressure and also the innovation.
Excellent, thank you.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
maybe also Yupeng from Xiaopeng.
对中国速度，我觉得这个词已经不是什么新鲜词了啊。我觉得这个正好是彰显了其实在咱们国家的这个强大的一个综合竞争的一个大的环境啊。所以造成这个事实，我觉得核心可能是几个多维度的一个综合的一个因素的结果啊。第一个，我觉得肯定是市场驱动跟整个的这个用户需求的一个强结合的一个结果。因为智能化发展到现在，包括 AI 的这个大力的这个发展，一定是对于用户的创新性的需求是创造了很多的一个机会。所以从用户、从客户的角度来讲，实际上大家对产品的要求也好，对产品的这个需求跟诉求是在不断的提升的。所以我觉得这个是一个程度上是它是在正向的激发了各个主机厂之间对于如何去做好一个产品啊，其实一个很大的一个推动力啊。那么在这样的一个大的环境之下啊，我觉得各大的车厂啊，主机厂之间啊，一定会是加大效率啊，加大力度，如何去思考如何去更好的、快速的去满足市场的一个需要啊。那么在这个整个的推动力的背后啊，我认为整个行业的整体的效率跟速度啊，实际上就已经起来了。但这个是源头，那么核心我认为还是在另一个层面，就是我们基于一个整个全供应链体系的一个强大的一个保障啊。那么在任何时候、任何技术、任何领域，实际上我们都能够快速的去得到一个满足啊。那么在这样的一个能力基础之上，它决定了实际上在中国它能够去快速的响应我们在工程、在技术的全领域的这样的一个落地的这样的一个能力。所以它也是反向保障了我们在整个研发的速度、产品的这个速度这样的一个最后的一个结果啊。对，我觉得这个2点应该是一个最重要的一个因素。对。
Wow, so more customer pressure and the ability to faster respond to it. Excellent. So it looks like I need to talk when I'm going back to Europe to my neighbors and tell them they need to be more demanding to their car companies. Yeah, and then the opposite now to the people from outside of China, to Mercedes-Benz. What is he as the biggest bottleneck actually to become faster outside that the customer are not so demanding? That's what I just learned.
I don't want to fight now for the legacy OEMs or for Mercedes, but have to be honest. What I have not seen here is any unicorn. So we're using all the same technologies. Yeah? We're using AUTOSAR here, and we at Mercedes using AUTOSAR, the APs 2411. I think no one here, no one else is using 2411 from up. So it's not that we are behind from the technology side.
Agreed.
Yeah. So this is the first point. But then, yeah, why we are slow?
No,
or
I
where-
was more asking what do you see the bottleneck to
what is
become
the
faster?
bottleneck? And I think coming back to your keynote, Joachim, I think it was already on your slide. There we are more process driven and not that data driven. This is, at least for me, the biggest bottleneck what we have. Yeah, and also the risk to take decisions and clear responsibility. Here in China, I've seen clear responsibilities, and they take decision, and everyone is aware who is responsible for a technical topic, and they drive that. And in Germany, or in Europe, or also in US, it's more hard to find a common way. You have a lot of talks until you get a way forward, a common way forward, because we have no clear responsibilities anymore, and there are a lot of processes and processing on top of processes.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is the biggest bottleneck we have, and this is the bottleneck we have to attack, and also, but really, the willing to take some risk.
Okay. And then to Thomas.
I would not say it's only the willing to take risk. I see it when I cooperate to my colleagues in China office. In the end, a solution which is not 120% perfect is also a solution where we start with and which we improve. So that means what blocks Europe a lot is this perfectionism. Everything should be perfect, and then we can give it to the customer. And I see the mentality in China is different. So let's take what is there, let's improve it, and let's give it to the customer.
And based on customer input. And based
on the customer input, he will tell you what he does not like,
Yeah.
and then improve with this. And this perfectionism and let's say this, or let's call it this 99% solution, moves forward much faster. And in the end, what I had to do, I had just to lay off this 120% mentality and then go to the 99% mentality, and everything got much faster.
Okay. Good. So let's look forward. Where can AI really make a biggest impact over the next 3 to 5 years in your vehicle inside? So maybe to Diana, you see a lot also.
So right now, of course, and like I mentioned, is AI definitely make a lot of major change already. So from the software, the tool chain development side, yes, our developing teams already actively using AI for the development process, and it's amazing for the result we actually see. Yeah, of course, and it's coming with any new challenges in how we be able to have define a new regulation, how we define the new common interfaces, and how we be able to do the sort of things as well. So all those things are actually so. But those are challenging, something that we should work on. That's why we had a room of experts in here with we're talking about the new things happening. So in China, in industry that what we see, you see in China OEM already have AI box in the car. Okay, so that's first they have in applications, and of course the cabin, they have in the simulation for ADAS, because the large models and the end-to-end solution already in the car on the car for it. And you see, we have a level 3 gonna coming out. I think I remember Xiaopeng, the CEO, has mentioned that by 2028, I think the level 4 or 5, the software level already there. The challenging is the hardwares, right? But so that's level 3, level 4, and we have multiple OEM in China already had the license to operate in level 3 cars. Starting out the next year, you're gonna see on the street in China, Chongqing, Shanghai, and Beijing. So that when that happens, you're gonna see interesting thing as well. But it's also good that Tesla's coming in China with their own FSD. So you will see more and more AI deployment on the cars. And remember, in China, the owners, they are already using. They are not going on Baidu or the Google is not working here, but the Baidu and others. Nobody's searching with Baidu anymore. They're asking their Doubao, asking their Kimi, asking their DeepSeek and everybody. So even it's not talking about just a younger generation or professional. My parents do that. So, and then, of course, you still argue when they make a reservation in a hotel through Doubao, there's things that happen. But this is what we see on our CarStar SDVs. It's getting better and better. So I think you're going to see very, very fast thing happening for AI on the cars and with happening lifestyles as well.
I want to add something here because I think it fits very well. When I talked to a company which was one of the first bringing in an AI assistant in the car, and then they analyzed what are the people actually doing with the AI assistant in the car. And to my surprise, but maybe it's not a surprise, they were mostly asking, because they were alone in the car, they were mostly asking the AI assistant on personal advice, how to deal with their partnership, how to improve their life, which I felt quite interesting. But okay, back to the original question on really the top in-vehicle AI features in the car, maybe then to Xiaopeng, if you could add what you see as the top new features, biggest impact features based on AI in the car.
好，谢谢。小鹏实际上我们目前是全线 all in AI 的一个车企，所以我们一直杭州的口号也是用 AI 智能去这样的一个定位啊，去持续我们在下一个这个整个的10年的战略。所以在小鹏内部，我们应该是在各个领域都在大范围的在使用 AI。那么我本身是做研发的，我可能更关注于在汽车的开发、汽车的研发上面怎么去更好的去落地这个 AI。大家众所周知啊，这个高等级的辅助驾驶肯定是在 AI 领域的一个主要的战场。大家现在讨论的非常多的话题也是在围绕在这一块啊，包括在智能座舱，在整个的这个大语言模型相关的一些应用。所以我们在这2块实际上也是有非常多的一些这个成果。包括我们在整个 VLA 以及加 VLM 的这样的一个大脑加整个这个小脑的这样的一个方式都是完全在积极拥抱我们所谓的这个世界大模型的一种方式在推进。当然我更关注的是，除了在这2块之外我们能不能在传统的汽车的研发的基础上去跟AI 做结合去拥抱 AI。实际上这个答案是肯定的所以我们也一直在推进比如说我们在这个小鹏最近5月份刚刚我们新发布的全新的一款这个旗舰 SUV 我们叫 GX 上面，实际上我们就已经开始在非常多的汽车领域上是已经这个有了 AI 相关的一些应用举一个非常这个我们认为非常好的例子，就是我们在整个底盘的整个的设计上我们就已经非常强化了。我们在全身的 AI 基于线控化的这样的技术方案上我们把 AI 把底盘进行相应的 AI 化了这样的一个逻辑所以我会认为这个在这个汽车的整个研发的领域上是有非常多能够去落地 AI 的这样的一个机会跟场景包括我们 刚讲到的底盘的 AI 化，我们在对于传统的像声学、光学包括甚至我们在降噪在 NVH 等等各方面的领域，其实它都可以有很多 AI 相关的一些应用都可以植入进去。所以这个它可能会是在未来整个汽车它具备在机器人属性之前，在成为整个具身智能之前，其实在很多的这个传统硬件的这个领域上，我们都可以用 AI 去更好的提升它原来的这个整个技术的上限，去突破我们原来的那样的一个天花板能够让我们在这个一定的这个物理的这个机械性能的基础之上，去达到更高的这样的一种性能甚至我们可以通过 AI，比如在底盘领域，我们可以通过 AI 的植入，可以让整个底盘的物理的这个冗余的程度实际上可以得到下降。这样一定程度上，我们就可以实现我们用更低的这样的一个物理的这样的一个这个技术方案来实现更高这样的一个技术的性能。所以它一定程度上也是在一个技术降本的一个逻辑上去得到应用。那这样的例子非常多我们也在全方位的都在做相应的这种 AI 化的一些植入。当然，除了我们在这些基于 Physical AI 相关的一些应用的基础之上，实际上我们还在考虑整个研发的过程。实际上它都可以去采用叫 Agentic AI 的一种方式来去做，也就是意味着我们原先，比如我在设计一个整个的这个整车的架构也好 ，EA 的架构也好，或者软件架构也好，我们都是基于这个传统的工程师的经验来去做相应的开发。但是未来我们可能会植入更多的这个 Agent 的方式用 AI 的方式，它来帮我们去完成相应的这样的一些设计的工作。我相信这个会是一个非常大的一个巨大的一个这个空间对于整个未来的技术的发展趋势的推动都有极大的帮助。对，谢谢。
Thank you. So, because we're here at AutoSar, I thought we go a little bit deeper into the platform. So, really, what does the software platform for AIDV need that the traditional architectures do not provide? So, what are kind of features you would like to see in an architecture, also then related to what we can do as AutoSar Consortium to really improve here, maybe then to Mercedes-Benz?
A good question. I love that because today we have many features introduced in AutoSar, and at least from my perspective, with AI, in the end, like the colleague said, there will be no limit, and we can really combine some features. If you ever have used AI and you have an issue, AI it fixing itself. Yeah, it fixes the issue itself. So, and if you have an agent running on your platform, which has control to all data there, we can combine health management, system health management in the whole vehicle. AI, this agent can do analysis of the whole car and fix an issue. Today it's like that. If we want to have the data, we collect a lot of data from the vehicle, but until we analyze the data in the back end, and bringing this, to learn from that and bringing that to the next car, it took many years. But now you have really live access, can have live access to every car outside, to every Mercedes outside, and can use and learn from that directly into your next generation, what you currently develop. And this is possible with this new AI agent. And from now coming back to AutoSar, I think we really can improve a lot, especially in the health management, in the communication analysis, making statistics out of it. This agent can do that. And so we can also improve the AutoSar and make AutoSar fit for the future.
So maybe Thomas, you want to add something?
I think from a perspective, overall perspective, I have seen that AutoSar tried to standardize a lot of higher layers. Where we have to focus much more is on the very low layers, which have to be standardized. There we always didn't so much look into it. as the rest will be filled up like gas from the AI. But the low layer where the AI bases on, I think there needs to be something which can be used. This is at least my feeling I have.
Okay. Diane, I see you. Diana, I see you nodding, so maybe you want to.
Right. Actually, AutoSAR doesn't have hold a big responsibility for going for AI DVs because I totally agree with Thomas say AI DV is based on SDV and based on a good solid SDV and based on good digital base. So it's we have a AutoSAR classic, AutoSAR adaptive. And actually, the two merge pretty well. If you're looking for future, what AI need to be for the changing for the operation systems. This is exactly we can merge the advantage of both and come up and it's all about the safety because the car is it's intelligent, is intelligent bodies, but we still is need a safety. So that is important for AutoSAR going forward with all the experts in the room here. So think about how we be able to and pioneer and define of the future use for the AI in the car because there's an OEM going to do a lot of things on the application levels and they're going to be changing at the middleware, but they need more common APIs on the regulations and also what happened with the chips in the bottom and chips. But dollar semiconductor SOC they come up with their own private SDKs and everything, but for the industry, they still need a good, solid computation common platforms. So that is something that's actually giving a big responsibility for all those other groups overall and everybody in the member in the room.
Yeah, and then how important is really that to build an entire AI DV stack, and I think this cannot be built alone. So what level of ecosystem collaboration is required to build something like this together? And I would like to give it to Hiram because you're one of the suppliers, and I assume for you it would be good if there would be some standardization.
Yes, it's really another good question because, to be honest, I'm not really very clear about the architecture and the future in the AIDV ages because my feeling is in the future years, our architecture and even the software architecture may change very big because nowadays the collective platform and the adaptive platform are very successful in the vehicle industry. But there are some, if we want to add some AI features, the common method is to add some AI modules, AI features into the stack or into the software, but that's just something like a plugin. It's not a built-in AI method. So my feeling is that in the future, maybe the full architecture, the software architecture, as well as the E-architecture may change. This change, I think nobody knows the answer for now. Maybe it will come to the next 3 or 5 years, we can find the answer. But during these years, we all need the cooperation. We all need the ecosystem because the OEM, like I said, OEM is on the front of the stage. They know the user request, the user, what the user want, and the tier 1, tier 2s are behind, and they got the pressure, also got the information from the OEMs. And this information plus the understanding of our own knowledge will generate some new knowledge and generate some new ideas, I think, in the future. And this means we have been playing different roles. Yes, these roles makes everyone can contribute their knowledge, contribute their ideas together. Yes, that's very important in the future, the better ecosystem. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I need to add, you inspired me of something. I see
Yes.
quite a bit is really the change of culture in legacy companies or companies which are working a long time, because there's so much used to trying to predict the future, make plans. I mean, I was asked for 2030, 2035 plans, and they tried to extract basically what will happen in the future so they can make a plan how to do it, because they're so used to make in this case, a 5-year product plan. And I liked really your answer, because that's typically also what I tell them. The only way at the moment, because nobody can really predict the near future, you need to build your platform and your organization so adaptive that you can quickly adjust. Yeah. Or the other, which is very hard, which is you make a market defining move. That if you're so powerful that you can really influence the future. So the other option, if you cannot do this, is really try to make your organization and platform adaptive so that you can react. And I think all the people from China also answered in this direction, that you have the customer pressure, but you can also act quickly on it. And I think the legacy companies cannot act quickly on it, and therefore they are struggling. That's kind of what I'm seeing. Maybe you want to add, Thomas, you're nodding.
So you're in a different position and today we saw the really nice presentation from iSoft in this stream, to have this common software stack and to apply it everywhere. And me as a supplier, I would have the dream to supply one ECU to all OEMs. And I think even if you have the same base everywhere, then you can create commonly a system. And this thought we completely don't discuss in automotive industry. So it was always my dream, I make once an ECU and sell it to every OEM. But every OEM needs a different ECU. And I think we should think about this problem as if we want to reach the next state, that we have an ecosystem which bases on something. We have to find a way, what is the common underlying language we talk, where our software or AI-defined vehicle works with this hardware. As in the end, you still build a vehicle out of hardware.
Diana, I see you. Oops, I see you nodding. Maybe you want to add.
Just try to refine for Thomas and saying is that's why I think OEM here should all have a common 80% of things common, so that could have a Thomas dream come true. And of course for our software as well. So definitely we want to have all the foundations solid and so repeated using for software so you can get minimize the cost. Then with the AI capability be able to, yes, of course, each OEM Mercedes can still have NVIDIA, and Xiaopeng have your own chips, and Xiaomi you also have your favorite chips. But at the end of the day, for hardware design, software and interchangeability, same. And AI can help to make that happen. But the thing is, for commonness, OEM should be coming to agreement. They want to be aligned for 80% the foundation solid. That's my dream too.
Okay, looking at the time, I also wanted to go at AUTOSAR AP. I mean, there's some companies here on stage which are using something like it or similar solutions without. But for example, you at Mercedes, Ralph, you have deployed AUTOSAR AP now in the MMA platform on the CLA and the GLC. So what is your lessons learned from deploying it in a centralized architecture, or in an architecture? Let's put it in an architecture.
It's not confidential anymore. Yeah, we have 2 ECUs out there which are using adaptive AUTOSAR. It was hard at the beginning to really deploy that, yeah, and also because we are in the first phase. This means we have to make everything stable, or it should just run, yeah. And now we are in the phase at Mercedes. We improved the whole, with our partners, we improved the whole stack. And this is really the chance also for AUTOSAR, to speed up with that, with the OEMs who are using adaptive, bringing back the features to the standardization and make the adaptive platform, make the usage and also, the features which are really necessary, bringing in the platform. But the experience itself with the adaptive platform, we have it now stable. Now we are in the phase to make it more performant, but the experience itself is good. and it's, for me, it's the right product. It's compatible to the whole ecosystem of the car, and you have directly access to the whole ecosystem of the car, to all the data. If you don't use adaptive, you always have to translate in between. And this is a bottleneck, at least from my point of view. And so we are, with adaptive platform, we are on the right way. We're having now also CAPI, thanks to iSoft. This helps also a lot to bringing fast, to have this fast development of this platform, to bring these necessary features inside the platform. So we really, we are the opinion we are on the right track, and we want to improve that further also for the next generation. For the next generation, we have already more platforms which are using adaptive, not only two.
Okay, who else wants to comment on who has deployed AUTOSAR adaptive and wants to comment?
Okay. We are also use adaptive AUTOSAR since our first vehicle, and we use it in the Linux system. I think from OEM, we first thinking about is the features we want to make, and according to features, and we need some stacks of software. So we need to find the solution. So also adaptive is the right solutions for some case, and we also add some extra modules to the adaptive previously, like the DDS. But I think currently also support DDS of AP. But my point is that we move very fast, and if the features is not available, we will make something new, or we find something from the open source world. So I think the best way is to have an open source solution that we can use, and with some new features is not available, we can quickly to change the stack and to have a new version. I think that will be better. Yeah.
Excellent. Anyone else who wants to comment on deploying it? And,
because Newsar is a very early stage using deployed AUTOSAR AP and for China OEMs. So our first China OEM production for with AUTOSAR AP 21-11 version. So that's the 2023 on the ADAS on the central computing unit. So it's basically summer that time still when I think Thomas that time still at Continental, and we took at a collaboration. They had the hardware, we had the softwares. So here's like Jashi has said. So here in China, the ecosystem partners, we act quickly. We first tried on the AUTOSAR adaptive, and but then we also find out for OEM requirements there's something missing. Then we have a middleware, so we call it a service framework. Then all us coming together, I think us here on the stage, Yupeng together, we were on the same stage for China Auto Sample for service framework, and also with Hengren and that time. So really the industry coming together, coming to working team, creating standards, and we come up with the 6th version of the white paper already. So this is how this industry here acted quickly. And we deploy that with collaboration with the hardware supplier, OEMs, different things as well. Then we build coming to the next stage if we everything cross domains, new architectures. So there's definitely had to be that flexibilities.
Thank you. Yeah, so time is up, but I wanted to add, because I think you gave me really the initiation to it. I think this is a perfect example you did when you have a shared source, and also I think at Mercedes and also at other companies, if you find an issue, you can immediately fix it, you can upstream it, and I think the platform will collaboratively improve, and I think that's what we want to achieve, and this was also the reason why we created CAPI. So I think thanks for all your inputs, thanks for all the discussion, and yeah, thank you for being here today. Thank you.